First day in the office, internet dreams collide. Season 3 got me buzzing, Comcast worldwide. I'm an intern, baby, learn the ropes today. Season 3 is crazy, internet's my way.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of the Internet Podcast, a podcast made by Comcast interns about interns. I'm Isabella Yu, a university relations intern working in person at the Battery office in Atlanta for this summer 2024. This season, we will be sharing our internship experiences as Gen Z interns. Our point of view. We could not be more excited to have you all tuning in and joining us.
I'm an intern, baby, learn the ropes today. Season 3 is crazy, internet's my...
Let's get started and meet our hosts.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Season 3 of the Internet Podcast, the podcast created by interns, about interns, for interns. My name is Kennedy Ryman. I'm a senior at the University of Georgia, and this summer I'm interning as a finance intern under the controller team for the Central Division, which basically entails dealing with administrative expenses, headcount, and financial planning and analysis for leadership.
And hi, everyone. My name is Isabella Yu, and I am going into my junior year at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. I'm majoring in strategic communication and getting a minor in digital media analytics. And this summer, I am working as a university relations intern for the Central Division. The main skills that most of my work here at Comcast revolves around are project management, event planning and coordination, and employee experience research.
Today we have a super exciting episode all about social media. Obviously, our generation has a strong connection to social media, growing up with platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter as part of our daily lives. We use these apps to chat with friends, share snippets of our lives, and catch up on news and trends.
Exactly, Kennedy. And our connection to LinkedIn is growing stronger as we start to enter the workforce and recognize the platform's value for networking and career opportunities. While LinkedIn can be fun or casual, like Instagram or TikTok, we have been increasingly using LinkedIn to build our professional brand, connect with potential employers, and stay updated on industry trends.
Yes, that's why we feel it's so important to talk about social media and how we can use it to our advantage in representing ourselves, both in and out of the workplace.
Today, we have a very special guest from one of our sister companies, NBC Universal. Everyone, please welcome Morgan Camshay. Morgan, would you mind introducing yourself?
Of course. Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Camshay, and I'm originally from Delray Beach, Florida. I attend the University of Florida, and I'm currently a marketing strategy intern for late night and special events at NBC.
That's so cool, Morgan. Thank you so much for introducing yourself. And now, would you mind sharing a little bit about what you do in your role?
Yeah, of course. A lot of what I do revolves around monitoring and tracking ratings at The Tonight Show and Late Night with Seth Meyers, creating marketing plans for the shows and specials, creating a weekly newsletter with the other interns, and creating daily recaps on previously aired episodes.
That's actually so cool, Morgan. Thank you for sharing. As you know, today we will be talking about all things social, and something that has been pushed really heavily in our intern program has been building our own brand.
Exactly, Isabella. And building my own brand has been something that at first I saw as a huge challenge, but I've really grown to love doing. I feel like someone's personal brand is a unique and consistent image or identity that reflects who you are, what you stand for, and what you offer, especially in a professional context.
For sure, Kennedy. I feel like my personal brand is a motivated, dependable, and detail-oriented person who can thrive doing both independent work and group projects as well. In one of my college courses, I actually got to build a website to showcase my personal brand, so I kind of already had an idea about the significance of it. But hearing about the concept of a personal brand in a work setting has been so helpful. It's definitely been really insightful to hear tips and advice from full-time employees. And actually, Comcast has hosted sessions about how to build a strong and positive personal brand, which I really appreciated. It's just one demonstration of many that shows how much support people within the corporation are willing to give to Comcast interns when it comes to starting their careers. Morgan, have you guys learned about a personal brand? And if so, what would you say yours is?
For sure. I honestly love that you guys brought this up because this is something that has actually been talked about a lot in my classes at UF. I would describe my personal brand as being a committed hard worker, always striving to achieve my goals to the best of my ability. I am not afraid to try something new in my professional life, and I'm always trying to push myself to learn and expand my network.
I can totally agree with that, Morgan. I feel like my personal brand is a team player and someone who is dependable and determined when working in independent and group environments. I really feel like it's important to always stay authentic and consistent. At orientation, we learned that the brand that you portray in the elevator should be the exact same brand of the one that you portray at a large professional meeting.
I totally agree with you, Kennedy. And having a strong personal brand is really important, especially in corporate America today. I feel like it helps you stand out and get noticed in a crowded and competitive job market. It shows off your unique skills and experiences, making you more memorable and more attractive to employers and clients.
For sure, Isabella. I feel like it's important not only to be, but to come off as well versed, experienced, reliable, and overall an easy person to work with. This can be achieved through a strong personal brand.
Exactly, Morgan. Especially in today's digital world where people often see you online, having a strong personal brand makes a great first impression and helps you connect with others way more easily.
For sure, Kennedy. At Comcast, they teach us to start at our core values and then translate that to our personal brand. There were actually sessions and meetings that us interns could join throughout the summer to learn more about taking advantage of LinkedIn, which was so helpful because I had just recently started using the app. I had no idea how easy it was to input my past work experiences or use the app's algorithms to connect me with people in similar fields. I feel like everybody has LinkedIn, but not everybody knows how to fully capitalize on it. I definitely didn't until I started my internship with Comcast and joined one of those sessions. And as for my core values, I'd say that they really focus around leadership, helping others, and working hard. But the thing is, I feel like at first it can be difficult to figure out where and how your core values translate into the workplace or a corporate environment like Comcast. And that's been one of the main things that full-time employees here have really helped me with.
Exactly, Isabella. Some of my core values are accountability, dependability, creativity, and communication. Communication and dependability are so important to me, so I'm always checking in with people, offering to help whenever I can to gain more experience, and keeping open communication with my supervisors and colleagues. I also take accountability very seriously and will always take responsibility for my actions and mistakes because that is how you learn and grow.
You make such a great point there about learning and growing. And I feel like it's important to mention that your personal brand will always be evolving as you are in the workplace. I feel like right now my brand is all about being reserved and respectful. And while those are important values, I do hope to grow in my workplace confidence and have more girl boss energy. Ultimately, as long as you are being your authentic self, that is all that really matters.
Yes, Kennedy, staying true to ourselves is key. And honestly, I love our generation because we have the ultimate opportunity to present our best selves on different platforms. One of my favorites being LinkedIn.
I love LinkedIn. I probably look at LinkedIn at least twice a day. I use it mostly to see updates of what is happening in the industry, working on gaining new skills through learning courses, and staying caught up on what the people in my network are up to in their professional lives.
I love that you are so LinkedIn savvy, Morgan. Seems like we've got a pro in the house, but I totally agree, Morgan. I use LinkedIn a good bit, whether I'm posting about fun things I'm doing at this internship or when I'm looking to connect with a seasoned professional in my desired career field. It's honestly becoming so much more important than I even imagined in today's corporate setting.
I totally agree with you, Kennedy. Now more than ever, it's so important to have both an aesthetically pleasing and an actually insightful LinkedIn. Comcast actually has coaches who give us a ton of tips and tricks on how to enhance our accounts. So, of course, we are going to share it with you guys. But first, do you have any tips of your own, Morgan?
I am definitely no expert, but last year's internship search definitely made me revamp my personal page. Staying active and constantly engaging with the people in your network is a trick that I learned really early on that proved to be super beneficial. Also, don't be afraid to connect with new people, and it's great to send a note with your connection, especially if you haven't met before.
That's such an awesome piece of advice, Morgan. I love that you've talked about engaging with your network. What exactly are your best ways to engage?
I engage with my network by liking, commenting, and reposting content. I follow people that work at my company, brands that I enjoy, people from my university, and family. Everyone at my company that I have talked to, I've connected with them on LinkedIn to stay up to date on the projects they are working on, see what they are liking and reposting, and keeping my name present on their profile so they remember who I am. I repost cool events or marketing campaigns that I've seen in the industry.
For sure, Morgan. It is definitely so important to stay active and engaged. Something that I've personally been really working on is posting more on LinkedIn. Doing things like adding media to my page, having a catchy title, and making a really great About Me section have especially been key for me.
I totally agree. We had a great presentation by Judy Park, a career coach here at Comcast, who is actually a pro. Something really fun that she said was to have a cool banner that represented what you are truly about. I think having a banner allows us to really showcase our personality and personal brand in a professional but fun way.
I love all the things you guys are saying. I'm literally taking notes right now. Something I really want to talk about is LinkedIn Learning. Definitely such an underused tool that is so helpful.
Oh my gosh, Morgan, please share. I literally always see it on my page, but haven't delved into it much. I know Comcast actually supports full-time employees in completing LinkedIn learnings, which is super cool too.
That's awesome, Isabella. My favorite LinkedIn Learning I've done was digital marketing. It taught me about the different ways that technology has impacted the way brands communicate with consumers and inspired me on how to come up with new and creative ideas for marketing plans in my future.
That is great to hear, Morgan. I need to get in there more. I feel like it can be super helpful, especially when applying for jobs, since it shows your completion on your page. Speaking of applications, did you apply for your internship through LinkedIn?
Funny story, I actually missed the application deadline last year. It has always been on my radar, so I immediately made sure to follow all of NBC's social pages and consistently check their website so I could get my application in early. I followed their page on LinkedIn, and it was super helpful when it came time for my interview to prepare by checking out the pages of the two amazing girls who were going to be interviewing me.
That's so great to hear that LinkedIn helped you secure your internship, Morgan. I had kind of a similar experience. I had always known about Comcast because it's a huge telecommunications company, which perfectly corresponds to my major. But I started to really look into it when I saw a LinkedIn post of an alumni from my college who ended up getting a full-time position with NBC Universal. Kennedy, was the process similar for you as well?
What's funny about that is one of my best friends from college, who is incredibly active on LinkedIn, someone call her a pro, was posting about her experience at NBC Universal as an intern last summer. And that is what put Comcast on my radar. I started following the company, and then when intern applications were posted, I immediately applied.
That's great, Kennedy. Ultimately, LinkedIn is a helpful tool, and we wanted to share that with all of you. Did you know that Comcast NBC Universal was recognized by LinkedIn as a top company in the US for 2024? In fact, this is actually the 7th time that our global media and technology company has made this reputable list, which is a pretty impressive accomplishment in my opinion. There are a number of factors that LinkedIn considers when constructing this list, one of them being how well the company excels when it comes to growing their employees' careers. From my POV, that alone really conveys that working at Comcast is associated with a positive career trajectory and immense future opportunities.
Absolutely. And hey, we've talked a lot about professionalism these past few episodes, but the truth is, we all like to have a little fun as well. So, Morgan, in your opinion, how do you balance play and professionalism on social media?
I keep my social media accounts personal by sharing pictures of myself and my friends, fun things that I'm doing, and photos that I enjoy. I keep them professional by not posting content that is too revealing, using profanity, and not posting photos with alcohol until I was 21 years old.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people get so caught up in being professional that they forget they can post their hobbies and things they like to engage in too.
I totally agree, because you should be mindful of what you post and not afraid. There's definitely a way to balance both work and play with both how you spend your time and then how you reflect it on your socials. But Morgan, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your POV on navigating LinkedIn and building your personal brand.
Thank you guys for having me.
Slay, thank you.
Welcome back to Comcast in Your Community, a segment devoted to sharing important updates and promising insight into how Comcast impacts people on a deeper level. So, what is Comcast doing today? Something that the corporation is extremely committed to is their program Comcast Rise, which I think is really awesome. Comcast Rise was built to support small business owners with tech services, marketing resources, and other crucial tools to help advance their career goals and dreams. After 4 years of progress and dedication, Comcast Rise has helped support approximately 13,500 small business owners in their ambitions. Supporting small business owners, especially after COVID, is such a great way for Comcast to not only make a difference in people's individual lives, but also to fuel local economies and communities. Now, Kennedy, what are some of your tips on how to maintain the balance between professionalism and play?
I'm so glad you asked, because something I think everyone should do is consider if you'd want your post reviewed during an interview. And not even before your interview, but with you in the room with your posts displayed on the screen.
Wow, that's good because you never know what recruiters investigate about you before giving you an interview, let alone the job. And that can also tie in to making sure you are aware of who you're following.
Yes, that is key, because a lot of us mindlessly follow people back, but we should at least look at their profiles just in case they are someone we'd want to work for.
Right. And something else I think everyone should do is to also be super mindful of the comments they make and what posts they comment on.
You're so right. And even if you don't agree with the post you see, still try to be nice, because it's not worth your time or your energy.
Yes, absolutely. Because I don't think people know that when you apply for your first adult job, they are going to look at everything that has your name on it.
Right? It's so much better to start building these habits now instead of down the line, because those recruiters aren't going to tell you what they found and why they decided to deny you.
Exactly. And I really think to help keep yourself accountable with maintaining the balance is to find someone you trust and get their opinion before you make the post.
I completely agree, because it might sound nice and harmless to you, but you can never be sure nowadays, because anything can be taken out of context, whether you meant to or not.
Hey, we've heard a lot of good advice from Morgan and clearly give some pretty good advice of our own. So I think it's time to hear what the other interns have to say.
I guess that means it's time for everyone's favorite segment, Behind the Desk.
For today's segment, we first wanted to know the intern's favorite social media app. And surprisingly, everyone agreed that Instagram was their favorite, with one intern adding TikTok and Pinterest to the list.
Next, we asked interns what they think their personal brand is. And from their responses, they said outgoing, hardworking, kind, positive, someone who's always truthful, and someone who brings ideas to the table.
Then the last question we asked interns is what their favorite thing about LinkedIn is. And they responded with being able to post, the connect feature, scrolling through people's profiles, the job search feature, and simply the educational component of being able to learn about different companies and fields.
A special thank you to Kaylin, Amanda, Nevin, and Gabriella for giving their POV on this week's segment of Behind the Desk. And a big thank you to all of our Comcast interns, the University Relations team, and our NBC Universal guest, Morgan Kamche, for making today's episode a success.
Stay tuned for the next episode and all season long, as we'll always be keeping it real and bringing you our POV. See you guys next week. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's episode of the Internet Podcast. This episode was brought to you by the Intern Podcast Committee, with support from the incredible University Relations team in the Central Division. Special thanks to Janda Anderson, Ernesto Sosa, Lindsay Seals, and Andres Cardoso for making our experiences as Comcast interns unforgettable. Past seasons of the Internet Podcast are now streaming on YouTube if you'd like to check them out, and stay tuned for the next episode of Season 3.